What's going on, everybody? Thank you for tuning in. I hope you're having a great start to the week. So on Saturday, like I said in a couple videos ago, I went and visited the Jacob Javits Center in New York City for the New York International Auto Show, and I must say I had a great time. Went there with a couple friends, my wife and a couple of our friends, and we had a blast. So while I was there, I took some pictures. Unfortunately, couldn't do any video. The only time I did anything that was video related was pretty much as soon as I got there. I did a live Instagram around the Toyota truck floor pad, just showing what they had. So if you don't have Instagram, get Instagram, because I do a lot of Instagram lives, and it'd be cool to have you. So just a couple quick notes from the show. So the coolest thing happened right away. We parked the car right across the street from the Javits Center. $70, by the way, to park. It's a New York thing, I guess. I knew it was going to be insane, but literally we were right across the street, which was cool. We get in line for the metal detectors to enter, and immediately there's a gentleman a few people up from me, and he looks back, and I could tell he's looking either at me or beyond me at someone, and he goes, "Oh, you're the Tundra dude." So, I ended up meeting him, and great guy. And here's a quick picture. It was a very cool experience to meet a fan of the channel, talk to him a little bit about Toyota. It was really, really awesome, and it was humbling to know that, I was spotted by a fan in the biggest city in the world. So that was really cool. So thank you to him for saying hello. But anyway, on to business. I went in there wanting to see a few things. All right, I wanted to obviously see the Toyota truck floor pad. I wanted to see the Ram Rebel Black Edition. I wanted to see the Ford Raptor. And obviously, like everybody else at the show, we wanted to see the Dodge Demon. Now, before we get into any of that, when we got in there, there was also a Jeep obstacle course set up that unfortunately I didn't get to go on because the line was pretty insane. But my buddy and his wife did get to go on, and they said it was really cool. It had a couple Grand Cherokee Trailhawks, Rubicons, things like that, just going over obstacles. But next to it, there was also a Toyota obstacle course displaying their safety sense, the 5-star safety sense that they have. And the wife and I were able to get in a Toyota Highlander Hybrid Limited Platinum. It's like literally the top of the line. I also did a live Instagram in the car when we were doing that. They basically drove us through this obstacle course explaining how everything worked. It was very cool. I sat in the back seat. Michelle sat up front because she's interested in a Highlander. So this kind of sealed the deal, and I actually fell in love with the Highlander a little bit. The thing is awesome. So if you ever get to one of these shows, make sure you check that out. That was really cool. Now, this is the first time I've actually ever been to the Javits Center show. And my buddy told me that I was crazy for going on the weekend because it's going to get insanely crowded. So when we first got there and we went downstairs into the truck area, I was pretty surprised at how crowded it wasn't. I was thinking probably because Easter was the next day, there wouldn't be a lot of people. So during that time period is when I really took all my pictures. There was a good amount of them. Obviously, you'll see a lot of good truck pictures and then a few car pictures at the floor upstairs. But almost immediately after that, it got really crowded, extremely crowded. I couldn't really get up to the Demon. But the pictures you're about to see are, just a compilation of everything I saw that wasn't a Toyota. Yeah, everything I saw, especially, in those pictures, you saw a quick shot of the Ram Rebel Black Edition, which was very cool. I got to sit in that real quick. It's a nice looking truck. I definitely like it. The Raptor. Okay, let's talk about the Raptor. went over to it, and I was really surprised because I went over to it, no one was around it. So obviously I went in, and I'm like, I'm gonna sit in this thing. So I go up, and the door was locked, of course. But yeah, as you saw in the pictures, I stood up next to the Raptor. Really cool looking truck. I really like it a lot. A little bit taller than I anticipated, actually, but a very nice truck. I also went up to the Power Wagon, which you saw that picture. Power Wagon's neat. There were definitely a lot of, in the non-Toyota thought process, there was a lot of different cool stuff. Cool Rubicons, stuff like that. But yeah, so those pictures were a lot of fun to take. And that, again, was in the beginning of the day before it got really crowded. But now, let's take a look at some of the pictures of all the Toyotas. So what I'm As you saw in the end of that group of pictures, the TRD Pro had a very good presence on the Toyota truck floor pad. All in cement color. It was the 4Runner, the Tacoma, and the Tundra. One thing that was crazy was, actually a few things, the 4Runner's hood was actually pretty tall. It was a pretty tall hood. Kind of had to do that a little bit. Awesome truck though. Tacoma, the seating position was interesting. And the Tundra I didn't sit in because obviously we're sitting in a TRD Pro double cab right now. There wasn't a Crewmax Tundra. There wasn't a Crewmax TRD Pro. There was a Crewmax Tundra. There was a 1794, and there was an SR5 or a Limited that had a big body decal on it. But as you saw in the end of that clip, there was also the TRD Sport, the 2018. You couldn't sit in it or anything. In person versus pictures that I've seen elsewhere, the tires are very road worthy, I will say that. It kind of goes the opposite direction of that off-road look. It's a very very street look. I don't dislike it, but I definitely like the TRD Pro look way more, and I'm glad I saw both in person right next to each other. Couldn't get in it, like I said, it was locked, but it definitely had a little bit, the little bit I could see, it had a little bit different of a gauge cluster. That looked pretty sweet, but it was dark in the car, so you could barely see. But yeah, definitely different, we'll say that. But overall, I had a great time. It was fun to hang out. It was good to see all those cars. There's so much more that was there that I didn't get to take a picture of just because the crowd was insane. I couldn't even get a good shot of the Demon because there was just, people were just all over that thing. But yeah, it was a great show. Next time I think I won't go on the weekend, but let me know what you think. Did you go to the show? Did you go to any of the international shows around the country as they moved across? What do you think? What do you think of some of the cars? What do you think of the TRD Sport? Some of the pictures I took. So comment below the video or find me on Twitter and Instagram at TundraDude34. You guys have a great day.